Hi, I'm Kathleen Byron. I'm the author of Conversations with Donkey, a Bipolar Journey. I'd like to do some question answering now. This is part 2. I didn't get finished on part 1. And the next question was, if you could go back in time, what would you change? And it's funny that I was asked that because for the last few days, I have been obsessing on time travel. It's a function of my mental illness and the level that I'm at right now. That's true. But when I'm unhappy and nervous and stressed and anxious, fantasizing about time travel is very calming. I hear the cats. That's what I'm looking at. So, if I could go back in time, I would make it so that if I had control over the situation, I would make it so that I would wake up in my bed when I was about 6 years old. I think that was in Virginia, but I'm not sure. 6 years old, and having the mind that I have now, and the fun that I would have with that, how exciting that would be. And I could sit and imagine this for hours, what I would do. And the first thing I would do is tell my parents. Because we've always been that way. It's always been that way that I told my parents things and I was honest. Sometimes, if I did something bad and I didn't want a spanking, I'd say I forgot. And Dad would say, "Do you want me to refresh your memory? Or maybe your memory needs refreshed." And that was terrifying. But go back to changing things. It would certainly change that dynamic if my father were to be convinced that I somehow had managed to travel back in time with my mind as a 60-year-old and the body of a child. I like to think about how I would tell them places to buy stock in and how they would have enough money when they got old to take care of things. I thought about how I would arrange it so that we could go and live where I lived when I met my friend Nancy, because no way would I want to live a life without Nancy in my life. And I told her this. I said, "I'm coming for you." And I imagined all the pleasantries of that in my fantasies, going down to the creek and the gentle way that I would need to approach and meet her, and all these wonderful thoughts I think about, and how I would convince my dad to stay at the university he was teaching at so that I could get a free education there. And then I would work on my school better, and I would go and I would get an education at that school in English, and I would become a writer, and I would do it early on because that's what I like to do. What's something that helped you become what you are? Well, my mother helped me become what I am. In that she was very, very encouraging. If I were to draw a picture and show it to her, she would be amazed and in wonder, and it was glorious. The way she would respond to things, the love that she gave, the comfort she gave, the trust that you had for her. It was just, she made me able to believe in myself, I think. My father helped me by teaching me to listen. He would say, listen, learn to listen, pay attention, follow directions. And this was burned into my head. I still remember it and will always, probably as long as I live. And it made an impression on me. And listening is very important. Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, which sounds like kind of a user mentality, but it's not at all. It's about being kind to people and stuff like that. It's a great book that I recommend. We're going on 6.5 minutes now, and I'm going to let you go. I only wanted to answer those 2 questions. I'm going to keep it short so I don't drive you crazy this time. Thank you, and thank you for listening. And please like and subscribe and leave a comment on what you think. Thank you. Bye-bye.